all that matters is we're back. We're back. Cover 2. I know you missed us. My DMs have been exploding, hundreds, thousands, basically, by the week of people just, where's the pod? Where's the pod? I miss it. It's all I listen to. It's my reminders aren't going off every Tuesday morning. Well, we are back. We are back for our 2022 playoff palooza is what I'm going to call this. Wildcard weekend, super wildcard weekend. I hate that name, by the way.
Is that what it's called?
It's called Super Wildcard since they added the extra playoff
I haven't been paying
team.
attention. I didn't know that. That's awful.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Just wildcard weekend works.
Yeah. Where to begin? I guess, like Mason said, it's been a while. It's been a while since we posted. I could get into this and why. And I was in jail for a little bit, and Mason went and eloped and got married, and I think Jess is pregnant. Were you an announcement, right?
No.
No. I'm just kidding. That was almost me.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I almost kind of forgot how to do this. Welcome everybody. I don't even know where to start with this week and how to get into these games.
You just want to get it out of the way?
Just
you can get out of the way.
The craziest game to top off the craziest weekend, to top off the craziest season, to top off the craziest year in general of our fucking lives. I'm going to try to cuss much less, which I'm about to basically take down all of our previous ones because one of my instructors was made aware of and he took a look at one of the episodes. He didn't have a problem with it. But, you know, when you're talking about Russell Wilson and I'm making AOC jokes and stuff, it's just...
Yeah, okay.
Should dial it in a bit. Still try to keep it comedic to an extent, because if we don't laugh, we'll cry in many ways, like you did last night, and like I probably will be 6 days from now. Let me set the stage, and then you can grieve. So going into this last week, there's all these scenarios. This team needs to win. This needs to happen. There was one very odd scenario that would get the Steelers into the playoffs or not make the playoffs. The Steelers played the Ravens. They needed to win. They played horrible again. Couldn't score points like usually all season, but they squeaked it out in overtime and they won. So it all came down to, I guess first it came down to the Jags needing to beat the Colts, something that no one ever would have thought have happened. I mean, the Jags were 2-14 going into yesterday, and the Colts are a team that everyone has kind of liked even after the slow start to the season. But I told Cade, my Steeler friend, early in the week, you can't count them out when Carson Wentz is involved. You never know. And he had, did you see a little shuffle pass fumble?
Yeah, that's
They didn't even know what to rule it because they had never seen something like that.
He's done that before, and I think he got away with it. It was a game earlier this season, and I said he's doing Carson Wentz shit. He's fucking throwing it out.
Unbelievable. From the beginning, the Jags went down and I think got a field goal or a touchdown to start, and they ended up being at one point 23-3, and it was just the whole time you're like, is this really gonna fucking happen? And then by the time it got to the fourth quarter, it was like, okay, this is happening. They're not just gonna all of a sudden score 3 times. So the Jags beat the Colts. That was improbable. That basically knocked the Colts out unless like 4 other things happened throughout the day. But the Steelers win. The Jags win. Steelers are in. Unless the Sunday night win and you're in game between the Raiders and Chargers somehow ended in a tie. If that happened, the Raiders and Chargers both get in and the Steelers do not. So, of course, fans who aren't the either Chargers or Raiders, or maybe even Chargers and Raider fans wanted to tie. I guess you can tell us that in a second. We wanted to see the tie because it's just absurd. From the beginning, it's a good game. Every time a team scores, you're like, okay, how does this work out to where it ends in a tie? And I was saying earlier, it got to 12, and it's like, well, okay, Steeler fans must be pretty happy. I mean, it's pretty impossible for it to end in a tie now if it's at 12. Well, they kick a field goal, the Raiders do, to go up 15. Now it's 2 scores. Chargers score, go for 2 first, which I said again earlier. I like going for 2 first, just because I guess it feels like you don't have all the weight of the world when it's like at the very end of the game and you need this 2-point conversion. It's debatable either way. I'm sure there's analytics that say something is more favorable, but they go for 2 and cut it to 7, and then Herbert, man, on that last drive, 4th and 21 from the 23-yard line, and just throws a 103 mile per hour Aroldis Chapman fastball to, was it Palmer or Guyton?
No.
But they tie it up, and we go to overtime, and it's like, holy shit. Now, I mean, everyone had kind of wondered all week, like, are they going to do this like handshake agreement thing? I mean, it was a joke, like, oh, are they just going to take knees for 70 minutes? Like, no, obviously. But if we do happen to get to overtime, then are we just going to be like, okay, well, I guess, I mean, we're both going to get in, and, you know, the Raiders go down the field and they kick the field goal, and it's like, okay, it's kind of set up. And then the Chargers, you get the big play to, what was it, Jared Cook on that drive, and you're like, all right, I mean, they're going to score a touchdown or get at least a field goal attempt. I kept thinking even at the end of regulation, they tie it or they score the touchdown. I was just waiting for the extra point to be missed to not even get to overtime. But they kick the field goal, and now it's like, holy shit, there's like 4 minutes left. This could really happen. And the Raiders get down to just past midfield. It's like I don't even remember, a 3rd and 4 or something like that. And there's like 35 seconds left. It really looked like they were just going to run the ball. And if they happened to get in field goal range, try to kick the field goal. If not, we're plenty okay.
Yeah.
Just tying and taking a knee. And after the game, there's all this talk like, yeah, we were thinking about it, whatever. They end up getting enough yards to set up a 47-yard field goal for Daniel Carlson, who has not missed in that stadium. And heartbreaking fashion, like you are accustomed to, and basically in a game that sums up 10 years of Charger games, they will be watching from the couches. So after all of that, what was that experience for you like last night?
All night, it was just kind of debatable. They were, it got up to like 10-0, and then it was 10-7. They go up to 14. I don't know. No, it was 14-10 at one point. It's kind of a blur. Justin Herbert looked good, but that right side of the O-line was just getting shit on all night. They were bringing a lot of different stuff. It actually looked really good for a Gus Bradley defense. So I wasn't happy there, and I just had a bad feeling like we're going to Charger this game. This is a divisional game with playoff like implications. I don't really like this. I've seen it once or twice. It gets to that interception in like the fourth quarter. I'm 3rd or 4th quarter late. Yeah, really bad. I just turn it off for a minute. I'm like, okay, I don't know how much more of this I can handle because this isn't looking good. I turn it back on with like 3 or 4 minutes, catch the end. I wanted to go for 2 and try to end the game in regulation. No overtime. I don't like overtime. I've never liked overtime. Any Charger fans shouldn't like overtime. We blow it. We always, the Kansas City game a few weeks ago, we're tired. We're gassed. Our run defense isn't going to stop them at all. They will do what they want to us. Our defense is exhausted and it's bad. Don't go to overtime. Keep the ball out of their hands. Go for 2. And if we lose, we lose. We lost. We lost anyway. We're going to go to overtime and lose. I promise. Every time. 10 times out of 10. Maybe with a new roster and a new philosophy next year.
Yeah, but you know the like if you go for 2 and you don't get
what
it,
if?
it's like,
I don't care what if, man. I know what if. I know. As soon as it went to overtime, I said, okay, it's going to get exciting, but we will lose. We were never going to stop Josh Jacobs. There was never a chance. It's just not doable.
How bad does that
Should have gone for
taste
2
coming
and
out of your
lost.
mouth? I knew we weren't going to stop Josh Jacobs.
It's disgusting. I hate everything. I'm a Packer fan. Go Pack, go.
It's ironic that it all. Will you turn that light towards me a little bit? Angle it. Yeah. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's so ironic that the thing you guys have not been able to do all year is stop the run.
Yeah.
And on the last 2 plays, when everyone 1,000% just knew they were going to run it, they get 17 yards and it sets up. And then there's like that video of Austin Eckler talking to somebody.
Out.
Yeah, I have right here. Is Brandon Staley the smartest moron ever? First of all, the 4th down call on your own
18. Oh, yeah. A fucking run.
That's a little too far.
A run, too.
A run.
Like, you don't want to throw for a yard in that situation like that. I understand, but like that is the most Charger thing you can do. Just get stuffed up the middle on a 4th down.
Wasn't it like 4th and 3?
It was 4th and I'm almost certain it was 4th and 1.
Oh, okay. 4th and 1, it's a little more understandable.
It's understandable, but like
Also, sneak it. I never understand why teams don't always just sneak it if they need a yard,
The right side,
unless they just have like 3 or 4 guys over the A gaps.
the right side of the O line are turnstiles.
Yeah,
Anyone can come
dude,
through. I
holy.
could get past them. Me right now could
The
get
your
past them.
right tackle.
Storm Norton. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware. We signed him from the XFL or the AAF, whichever one. Sweet. You're great. You're awesome. No, and Tom Telesco, he needs to go. It's time to go. He has like the 6th worst records for GM, like win percentage wise. It does fuck all. Sorry, I shouldn't. Okay.
What was the explanation for the
Hot Wheels.
timeout?
I watched the presser yesterday and they didn't even ask about it.
Nobody asked why did you
No.
call timeout?
No.
Why do you think he called timeout?
No
To give
clue.
the defense. So I mean, I guess you could say to give the defense a like a breather.
Yeah,
But I mean, they were just off the field
and
for
they were just
fucking
gonna-
45.
and they were just gonna run it one more time. Even if they get another first down, they're not gonna call timeout. They're gonna go as far as they can. If they get another 2 or 3 yards, we could talk all day about it. We really could. A lot needs to change.
If we want to take something good out of it, which is what we've been taking out of the whole season, what you
higher
took out of
draft pick.
last year, no, it's that you have John Elway 2.0 because Herbert is just. I mean, how many times did it seem like they were just out of it? I mean, 4th and 10 convert.
Oh yeah, I have it.
4th and 10 conversion. 4th and 9 conversion. The 4th and 21 touchdown.
That's a good point.
Holy.
I have here in my notes. Without him this season, we're a 5 to 6 win team.
Oh, I mean, if
5
that,
to 6 wins,
if
maybe.
that. I mean, depending on who the
we
other
have good
quarterback
receivers
is.
and shit, and like the O line is okay.
But he is on. What was he like? 35 for like 64 or something like that, which was
yeah.
Elway too. Elway had a couple big games. I just watched a couple replays of him last night. Where he would like started kind of slow and then he just starts just slinging it. And at the end of the game, everybody knew they were just slinging it. And man, that guy,
like
that throw
last
we had
touchdown,
to
dude.
I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Mike Williams on the left sideline where like, I mean, the corner had an arm on and he literally just put it in his shoulder and it was just gorgeous. I absolutely love. He is my favorite non-Cowboy quarterback. He's so fun to watch. And I mean, it would be so much more entertaining to be watching them this next week instead of the Raiders, or especially instead of the Steelers. I mean, it's a borderline, it's a crime that Ben is allowed in the playoffs and Herbert. Ben hasn't had a 300-yard passing game all year. And the fact that he is in it and Herbert is not, it's honestly a shame.
It's because
luckily
it's a Charger thing.
Year 2, you've got him for 15 more years.
With
the way technology is now, maybe 30 more years.
We have a lot of money this offseason, but
a lot of money.
Tom
there
can't
are good
do
things
it.
to take,
He
but
can't build a team. He's drafted talent, and yes, we have a talented like roster, but I don't trust him. I have no faith. I'm burnout. I need a couple of weeks.
Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll hit these wildcard games. Super wildcard weekend kicks off Saturday afternoon with the team that just knocked you guys out. Las Vegas, used to be Oakland Raiders, going to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow, the runner-up comeback player of the year, to my boy Dak in Cincinnati. Played each other week 11. Bengals win by 19, 32-13. Kind of a different story since then. Bengals have been in this roller coaster team all year. They look so great, and then they lose to the Jets, and then they look great again, and they lose to somebody else bad. They were 4-3 since that game. The Raiders, on the other hand, have won 4 in a row. Joe Burrow has been on fire the last 2 games he's played. Almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Top 5 run defense for the Bengals, but a bottom 5 pass defense. I don't know how to feel. We like their personnel on defense a lot, yet they seem to be giving up a lot of points at the same time. They are looking for their first playoff win since, can you guess?
The Bengals?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Darn. It's got to be...
Since the last playoff win.
2000s or 90s.
1991.
91. Is that when they went to the Super Bowl
I think so.
and played Joe Montana?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. I
Yep.
was gonna say the 90s or 80s with Joe Montana, but I was like, oh wait, Andy went. But they never won. They just made it. Okay.
The Raiders, I could have all these stats and things about their record or whatnot. I don't know how they're here. I don't know how they're in the playoffs. I don't love their receivers other than Waller, especially when Ruggs got arrested. I don't love their defense. I can't even really name one of their corners, like was it Faison or something like that.
Brandon Facing, Casey Hayward.
Casey Hayward, yeah, he's all right, but he's still deep on the back nine.
Oh yeah.
Safeties, couldn't name one, to be honest. Crosby's a beast up front. Their D-line played great last night, and I guess is the strength of their defense right now.
Linebackers are good.
Linebackers are good. Yeah, Perriman's good. But they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be in the playoffs. Shouldn't be this 10-win team. They won 4 in a row. They were 6-7. Nobody was expecting them to be here, and now they're here. So, are they gonna go into Cincinnati and win? I don't think there's a chance. I don't think so. But Cincinnati has come out flat many times, so I expect the Bengals to win, and I'll pick them to win. You feel the same way? I'm sure you're rooting for them.
Really hope so. Who dey? Let's go Bengals. Joe Burrow. I don't usually root for that guy because he's like him and Herbert are compared,
rivals.
But not even rivals. Like I respect. I mean, he's really good first overall.
Little rivals,
but
because they're always going to be compared to each other.
Always, but this week, he's my favorite. He's my favorite quarterback in the league this week.
If there's a dark horse in the AFC that I would love to go on a run, it would be them. Because they're so fun to watch when it's working.
Yeah, but I can't let him get playoff wins in a ring on Herbert. Like before.
I mean, yeah, but
come on.
Also, who cares too?
I do. Patriots can go on a run.
Saturday night, we have a fun one. The rubber match between the Patriots and Bills.
That's going to be very good. Very good wild card.
Very good. I think it might be kind of bad. Not like bad. It'll be great no matter what. It's going to be one of
those games,
but
though.
Yeah, I mean, so the road team won each of their games. Buffalo's won 4 in a row now. The part I hadn't really, I mean, I kind of noticed watching them, but not noticed. It's now been a month straight, a little over. They've rushed for over 100 yards in 5 straight games now, and that's been so much of our problem when their offense stutters. It's like, Josh Allen? He's just got to do everything. But if you can run the ball a little bit, now you can get him moving. Now you can get him on these bootlegs, these play action. Play action with Josh Allen when the run game's working is just... I mean, we say not on the Patriots, but they just mopped them 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
all over them.
Playoff Bill Belichick.
I mean, that's true, but is this Patriots team that good?
Yes. I think they're going to win. That's my...
I don't think so.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
The Bills.
You're taking the Bills?
Yes.
I would gentlemen's bet you.
Okay. Let's do it.
I want the Patriots. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely don't want the Patriots either because, like, the Bills are...
I should like the Bills more,
their offense
but I
is
like Bill Belichick.
Mac has played not good in the last month.
No.
They have the number 1 scoring defense, New England. I'll give them that. They've lost 3 out of 4, though. They are 6-2 on the road. They're 0-5 when their opponent scores 25 plus. I can't even use the game in Buffalo on Monday night as a barometer of anything because that was just so weird. All the wind and so cold. That was just weird. I take much more out of the game in New England than I do that game.
Yeah.
And I just think they're a better team. I think the Patriots are the good bad team in the playoffs.
You think that the Patriots are the good bad team?
Yeah.
With all that playoff experience?
What playoff experience?
Okay, not this team specifically.
Is Bill suiting up?
No, Bill's not suiting up, but there is a Patriot way in place where
the Patriot way is in Tampa.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, because they have fun in Tampa. They have fun in Tampa.
What was Bill before Tom?
We're not going down this road and having this argument.
80-20 Tom.
I mean,
and 80-20 Jay. Got you, Jay.
You don't. No, it doesn't work. No, it's not 80% Tom. It's never 80% of a player that wins Super Bowls.
It wasn't, but it was definitely more Tom.
Bill unlocked Tom's mind so he could read the game. It was both of them, for sure.
Have you watched Man in the Arena?
Yes, and even before Man in the Arena, you knew that Bill Belichick adds so. Imagine having a coach.
28-3.
This is what they're gonna throw.
28-3.
28-3. I didn't see the 28-3 episode.
No, I'm just saying the game.
28-3. I mean, yeah, that's Tom.
Where was the defense in that?
I mean, yeah.
What about the game that Tom should have won?
Yes,
That he
there
scored
are-
like 41 points and lost.
There are games, yes, where okay, Tom is on fire. He is like the guy for this team, and yes, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and Tom Brady got them all those wins. But Bill had his hand in that, and I think he's the best coach.
Also, how good we got a rookie quarterback who's not playing good on the road.
I mean, yeah, I see. I don't know. I think that playoff Patriots are different than regular season.
I think you're living in the past.
Maybe I am. Hey,
All right,
I
we
had
disagree.
hard
That's a
night
fun one.
last night.
Yeah. Sunday morning, probably the least fun game of the entire weekend. The Eagles, who somehow made the playoffs, are in Tampa Bay to take on the 80-20 himself, Tom Brady, who has won 7 out of 8 games. It was set his own personal record this year for yards. Like he's, I don't even understand. Anytime I hear someone start a conversation of how long you think he's gonna play, I just either turn it off if I'm watching it or check out if it's in person and someone's talking to me about it. Because let's just stop guessing. Like this started. I saw the video this morning of Max Kellerman in 2016 when he was saying like, "This is it. It could be the first game. It could be the end of the year, but he's not the same anymore." And he's like at his best 5-year stretch like of his career.
Yeah.
So
Since
let's stop
turning
guessing when he's
40.
going to be done. Like, yeah, yes.
I know when he's gonna be done, but we don't have to talk about it. I have a good idea though.
They've, like we said earlier, they've lost Levante, Fournette, JPP, who they're supposed to get back, but no AB or Godwin. Yes. We all know this. And the Eagles have won 6 out of 8, but have only played 3 teams that have a record above 500 and have lost 2 out of those 3. We're talking about playoff debuts with Mac. It's also his playoff debut, and I still don't really love Jalen in general, if I'm just being honest.
And Nick Sirianni making his head coach playoff debut as well against Bruce Arians and playoff Tom Brady.
And what's the one thing that they've been able to do so well over the last couple months that's propelled them in all these games, which Jalen is a part of? Their rushing offense. They have the number 1 rushing offense in the entire league. Who's the one team you would not want to play going against a run defense? Yeah. It would be Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh and that entire front on the Bucs.
Even just the D-line itself, and then you look at their linebackers, and you're like, oh,
yeah, Devin White and Levante, if you happen to get through that D-line, I mean, get out of here. And so that should be pretty easy.
Jalen throw the ball. Not gonna
to who? Yeah,
exactly.
To like Devontae Smith, I guess. Sure, fine. Goddard, sure,
fine. You can get a cool 80 yards, 90 yards.
Yeah, it's fine. I like Devontae Smith. I like Goddard. I like the team in general, but I mean, we're talking about the defending Super Bowl champs. So let's not get too crazy. Although if there was ever a year
for an upset, I mean, he almost got upset by Taylor Heineke last year.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Who knows? Okay, let's get to the boys. The boys are Sunday afternoon. We're at home hosting the 49ers, who I said earlier, it kind of makes me, I mean, I would find a way to think that we're going to lose to the Rams, Cardinals, or Niners, or I mean, the Jags, if it somehow was the Jags. But I guess I would rather play Jimmy than like Stafford and McVay and Kyler.
Yeah, I mean, you got to worry about like Kittle and Debo.
He's had, I think,
and like their quick little.
Debo's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Kittle's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Mitchell's terrifying. They have, well, I think I have here. Yeah, they have a top 10. Well, this isn't their offense, but they have a top 10 rush defense and pass defense. I know when we can't run the ball, it gets kind of tough. I know then our play calling. I don't even know. I can't even look at this game like objectively because I just have such a bad feeling. I almost am more confident having to go, and it sounds weird, having to go to Tampa Bay or to Green Bay in round 2 than I do hosting one of these teams. Mainly because I hate playing at home because like everyone plays good at our stadium at home. It's like having the Chargers having a home game. It's like, sure, it's a home game, but there's also going to be so many fans. I mean, the last time the Niners were in Dallas, this picture of the stadium, it looked like it was 60-40 red. Like, it didn't even look like a home game. And whenever we're the favorite in any situation, I just hate it because that's just opening the door for us to overthink it or be overconfident and lose. So, I don't know. We have the number 1 scoring offense, so we should. It's going to come down to our defense. That's the one thing we've never had in my lifetime is a defense, and we finally have not just a good defense, but a defense that led the entire league in turnovers, and we'll need it. We'll need it because I assume We're going to come out slow. Always do. They'll probably run the ball. Nice. We'll be down a good 10-0 after the first quarter. And then we'll score. It'll be 10-7. It'll end up being dramatic, and it'll end up being probably the best game of the weekend because they're involved. It'll be the most dramatic, most likely. But I don't feel good. But when do I?
Yeah. Hey, I get it.
I mean, other than, I don't know, comparatively to the other quarterbacks, but I mean, the playoff experience that the Niners have is, I mean, rivals almost anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have a guy, Jimmy, who was one throw away from taking the lead in the Super Bowl with 2 minutes left. He had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Like, he got you to a Super Bowl. You've got all these guys who have been in these big games, and Shanahan, who's now been in many big games. I mean, if you want to talk about coaching mismatch, that's the most terrifying thing of all going into the playoffs is having McCarthy. I mean, goddamn, I'm not looking forward to that at all. You know, I've started to think the last few weeks, like, how nice it would be to just not like sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And how much better life could be. I could meditate. I could hike. I could.
Oh, yeah, this offseason,
I could fish.
Really going to find myself this offseason.
I'm just going to go through the same process. I'm going to be depressed when it's over. Then I'll buy into the draft. And then we'll have the NBA that'll be able to distract me. Then come July, I'll have missed it a lot. I'll see our draft picks in training camp that look good. And I'll get real excited again. Year 2, Micah. Year 3, Trayvon. I'll just buy in again. And it's whatever. It's a love-hate relationship. It's one of your family members. So, I mean, even if you hate them, can't kick them out. Sunday night, Steelers in Kansas City. Biggest spread, I think it's like 10.5.
Not a squeak by game. You're gonna get exposed now.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not playing.
Do you
Tyler
remember
Huntley.
when the Chiefs were 3-4 and we were like, I mean, are we sure they're gonna make the playoffs? And it's like now here we are. They've won 9 out of 10 and they're 12-5 and
2 seed.
Should be the 1 seed because I mean, get the Titans out of here, dude. I'm sorry.
I agree.
And having the 1 seed, I mean, Henry could come back and you only got to win 2 games. So I mean, God forbid they make the Super Bowl because there could not be
a
more
one of
boring
those years,
team.
though.
I guess
where the Titans just get their way to the Super Bowl.
They just played the Steelers, I think, in week like 11 and beat them by 26. Like Ben, like I said earlier, has 0 300-yard passing games all year. They're just not going to be able to keep up. I mean, they're in these games somehow because other teams make mistakes and some like
the Ravens are beat up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these AFC North games. I mean, AFC North might be the deepest, but I mean, or at least coming into the year, throughout the year, it was like, oh, they don't have a team that's like horrible. They're all like kind of good, or are they all, other than the Bengals, kind of bad? That's kind of what it seemed like at the end of the year.
Well, the Ravens aren't bad; they're just severely hurt.
Right. This year.
This year, yeah.
Because all the injuries, and then especially without Lamar. Although Huntley is like,
he really can hold his own.
Yeah, he'll be a career backup for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Steelers just not going to be able to keep up whatsoever. So I will take the Chiefs easily.
Yeah, that is easily the worst game.
Monday night, game of the weekend, I think. I think this ends up being game of the week. I said 49ers Cowboys. It'll be the most dramatic, but I think this will be the best. Cardinals Rams rubber match again. Also, like the Bills Patriots, road team won each of the first. Rams have won 5 out of 6. Not pretty though. We don't like how Stafford looks. We don't like how the offense looks. Same with the Cardinals. We don't really like how they've been looking the last month. But it's 2 teams that know each other well, have had good seasons. I mean, say what you want. They both finished with, 11, 12 wins. I guess I'll pick the Rams.
Oh, I'm taking Rams.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
something about the Rams I like more than.
Well, in my head, I like when I think about like offenses, I kind of just assume wash. Like, so then I look at the defense. And yeah, Chandler Jones, really good. I think J.J. Watt coming back. Buda Baker is just unreal. But Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, I mean, just say those 2 names. I mean, yeah. I'll take that all day long.
Especially versus a banged up, I don't want to say hurt or crippled, but just a banged up team.
Yeah, and Von Miller. Like, I could see them pressuring Kyler, and I just don't understand what he was doing this last week going against the pressure. I mean, it could be different next week, and he could be more prepared, get out of the pocket more. Maybe they run him more now that we're in the playoffs. They're willing to kind of risk him a little more than you should
Now's the
and
time.
did throughout the season. Right, now's the time. So
Okay, man.
Cardinals 8-1 on the road, if that means anything. Stafford 0-3 in his career in the playoffs, if that means anything. It's also what's his name's Kyler's playoff debut. So who knows there? Got a lot of quarterbacks making their playoff debuts here. So then, big picture, we kind of did it a couple times a few weeks ago. Conference championship, where would you say right now?
That's really tough. Okay.
I think I'm going to go chalk and say Titans, Chiefs, Packers, Bucks.
Yeah, I mean that's where my mind immediately went, but
That's only because the Titans just have to win that one game at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
If
I
they
just don't see
get
anybody who
No,
competes with
no.
Bucks.
I think it'll be okay. You go to Tampa if you win.
Which we almost beat week 1.
That's a tough road, but it is doable. Any team can win any game. You guys can beat the Bucks. It could be you guys. I don't know.
Just in
Big
that
picture,
moment,
though,
I got a little something in my stomach, a little.
just
a little-
you know,
a little-
sometimes.
It's Monday, and I give all this hesitancy, and I give all this whatever, but of course, throughout the week, I'm going to talk myself into, like, we're winning the goddamn Super Bowl, and
You just gotta
I was-
take it gradually. You
I
just
know.
gotta-
I was thinking about, like, Super Bowl plans, like what we're doing, because obviously with that projector now and downstairs, like, we want to have Super Bowl here and have friends over and food and all that stuff. But, I mean, if the boys were in it, I mean, everyone get the hell out of the house. Like, I'm probably sitting right here in my room. Yeah, just watching the TV.
That's what I do. Just load up on everything you need up here.
I
fix
can't
in a cup.
imagine the anxiety and,
Yeah.
like, just talking about it right now. It gets me, I don't even, that'll be,
I wouldn't know. I'm just hanging out.
yeah. Oh, gosh. Who knows?
Big picture. I mean, I'd like to see Green Bay in it. Probably Tampa though. I mean,
Did you see that Boomer Esiason? I saw his TikTok video where Boomer said he had, Boomer Esiason.
Mhm.
He has some show with somebody on CBS Sports, and he gave his phone to this guy to read a text that he got from somebody inside of Aaron Rodgers' inner circle that said, if the Packers make it to the Super Bowl, that Aaron is going to use the week leading up to the Super Bowl to make a statement. He's going to threaten to not play in the game unless the NFL changes some of its COVID policies.
and he will not play, and Jordan Love will start, and
that
they
he-
will get beat.
He's told Jordan Love to be ready, that he specifically the testing of asymptomatic players, some of the just guidelines that he's kind of detailed on the Pat McAfee show when he's gone on.
Some of it is pretty bad.
What do you think would happen? That would be
The NFL would say,
crazy.
enjoy sitting on the bench,
I
sir.
think they would
Have
too.
a good time watching the game. Congratulations on your career.
For what it's worth, he came out and just like he tweeted it and just laughed, and he was like, "The fake news, dude, it's out of control." And like Jordan Love tweeted like, "Holy cow, that's hilarious." But
Because he would never do that, but the NFL would tell him,
do we
Okay.
think he would never do that?
yes. No, come on. Dude. What? No. You can
It's
talk about it in the
A-Rod.
media, but you're not going to... He would not sit out on his team like that. He would promote it. I'm sure he'd try to push his message and be like, guys, we need to change this.
Maybe
Sure.
he would try like and act super serious and like to see,
Maybe,
and then
yeah.
if they did like last minute, be like, "All right, Jordan, I'm not obviously I'm gonna play," but
Yeah.
that would be something. But I mean, that's not even a factor, and it won't matter because the
gotta see if
Cowboys
they
are
can
going
get
to go
past-
into Green Bay and get our revenge for 2014 and 16, and all the other times that Aaron Rodgers has broke my fucking heart. Screw you, Aaron. Get vaccinated. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good
Okay.
weekend.
All right.
All right, peace.
That's